Hello everybody, my name is Aistis Zabarauskas. I'm from Lithuania, from Public Relations Consultancy, Integrity PR. But before I tell the story about turning off indifference and turning on responsibility, I want to introduce the client, because it is very important for the story that you understand at least just few key points about what is the main driver and initiator between this social responsibility program. So basically it's a very oversimplified scheme of how electricity is getting from generating units to homes and offices in towns and villages. And the client is responsible mainly for the last link of this system, for the wire and for a network which goes into homes and offices, actually reaches the people. And it's called RST, Rytų skirstomieji tinklai. In our language it means Eastern Distribution Network, because this company takes care of half of Lithuania, which is in eastern half. Or should I say took care, because in 2011, this year, this company was merged with its western counterpart, VST, and became Lesto. Actually, Lesto does the same as RST did, but it takes the whole Lithuania rather than rather than a half. Now Lesto takes care of the whole. So Lesto, RST was the starter of the project which I will talk about, and Lesto is the continuing with this project. So what is the problem with indifference and what is the problem with responsibility? And actually the main issue here is losses. Losses which are caused by indifference. Losses of lives. Annually 8 to 10 people get killed because of unauthorized entry into facilities of Lesto. Losses, financial losses. Okay, this formatting problem, but it's probably because of difference of systems. But it doesn't matter. So financial losses. Because of indifference to the property. People regard electricity as nobody's property, so they can steal it and incur losses not only for the company, but for the people themselves, for the community. And losses of power due to indifference to civic duties. In Lithuania, people have several duties related to electricity network. We have to take care of 3 branches if I get too close to wires, to the network, and may cause the damage. And we have to always inform Lesto or RST if we dig holes, quite deep holes in our own property, because we might get into wire and get killed by this. And because of that, nobody takes care. They are just, it doesn't matter. Someone else will do that. The power, lots of organizations, hospitals, whole districts of towns, they lose electricity. And total estimation is, in the year 2009, it took nearly 30% of the whole year for 64 people to live without electricity because of such attitude that I don't care about my civic duties. So these are three main issues that population of Eastern Lithuania, and actually the whole Lithuania and RST and Lesto faces because of indifference. It's safety, it is safety, then once again, I just got blackout. Safety, civic duties, and theft. Yeah. One more thing. Meanwhile, European Union issued last year the famous directive, Europe 2020, remember? And there was a small section about electricity or electricity distributors, and they were encouraged to reduce their losses and improve network efficiency by 20% till the year 2020. And what was the response of RST to these external factors? And the response was educational campaign for society called Operacija 2020, Operation 2020, in order to reduce indifference, raise responsibility, and reduce the losses which population, communities, and organization itself gets because of the indifference, right? At the same time, organization invests money into its improvement of its hardware, but that's other part. We don't get into this. Together with the agency, company designed the strategy, the communication campaign of 10 years. We have 10 years, that's quite a lot, but our goals are ambitious. To change not only perception, to reach at least 60% of population, which is, we found out after 1 year of operation, easy, but to change not only attitude, but also behavior. It takes time, and we are happy that we have 10 years. But the most important things in this campaign, educational campaign, is that we make effort, conscious effort, to use easy to understand communication tools, easy to understand communication tone, which is close to the tone which our target audiences speak, and target audiences, the whole Lithuania, which is very, very various, from a villager to a sophisticated businessman. We also decided to involve a social partner to help to deliver the message, and how we can live without involvement of community itself. Of course, the community should be involved too. And the final, and is very important thing too, is that at the very beginning we found out that the commitment of the company, commitment of RST itself, is a key success factor. And the company really dedicated lots of resources to this campaign. Human, let's say financial is not the most important, human and time. And for instance, the example of commitment can be that here in this audience we have 4 people from RST, from former RST and now Leicester. And this is these 4 people there. Here, just please raise your hands. Yeah, these are who were actually implementing the campaign, going into Lithuania, speaking to people face to face. And we had 3 stages in the first year. Actually, we just launched it, like officially, big bang. Then intense work of 6 months, direct communication and media relations, and then just closure of the first year and just summarizing results. And this was a strategy, and I just briefly go through tactics. So what we've done, simple. Internet resource of information addressing those 3 issues, with explanation, with tips and call for action. We also made a print version of this internet resource and called it a Manual for Responsible Behavior with Electricity. Actually, and this manual also was written in a very soft and friendly language rather than business is consulting people. 3 minutes left. Okay, so I'll go much faster now. We made information visualizations in order to show in few seconds, in order to just make people easier to understand complex information. We employed existing infrastructure of the company for the purposes of program. A hotline to report about theft and hazards. Also, the call center managers were trained how to handle calls related to the educational program and how to measure statistics and progress, how we progress with these calls. Also, this is the most important thing, and actually I think this is also a key learning. These 4 people, they went to Lithuania and visited lots of local communities with their partners. The partners call themselves chiefs of local authorities. Lithuanians better know them for the name seniūnai. So they visited the whole eastern Lithuania, meeting them, explaining the problem and trying to get them on board so they then can distribute the message to their communities. Of course, we involve people, communities itself. There was a contest for communities. Please give us a project how to solve electricity-related problems in your local place. We will help you to implement this. And also there was extensive media relations. I will not say, due to time constraints, what we've done, but we've got 100 media entries because of press conferences for national and regional media. So what are results? 18 meetings with local communities were organized, and RST started partnership with 114 local authorities, just in eastern Lithuania. 25,000 guides or manuals for responsible behavior with electricity were distributed through the local communities and through the libraries. And we assume that around from 50 to 70,000 people have reviewed that. RST received 18 original projects how to solve actual problems in communities, and 6 of them were financed and got financing and were implemented. Okay, 100 media releases. We measured media entries, TV, radio, local and regional media. Awareness, we measured how much people did know Operacja 2020 and how many of them did support this effort. So we found out that in 6 months of our activities, 16% of population knew this. It sounds not much, but it's 25% of our 10-year goal in the first year. So what we found out? We found out that we need to set more ambitious goals of outreach and then of behavior change. And I put this as a last point because it's not the most important, but it's still, we have to note it, that the reporting on electricity theft increased by 80%, and the value recovered from these reported electricity theft cases completely covered expenses of the program implementation of the first year. Key learnings for me, myself, and for the communication team which was involved in the project, the key learning was commitment of the client. They dedicated 2 people who, Ignas and Ervinas, who were not a communication people. They have their own primary duties, and they had to squeeze Operation 2020. They have to squeeze those 18 meetings somewhere deep in local communities. This is time. And these people have to be, have incentive, and we have to employ existing infrastructure, and building relationship with communities takes emotional competence and intelligence, because these people, they not always accept you and your ideas. Sometimes they shout on you, sometimes they say, okay, come, and then when you come, they just want you to get out in a very nasty way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's have a dialogue now.